Hey everyone, Kevin here. So today what I'm going to talk about is how you can get inside your client's head by knowing their thoughts and feelings. And what this is going to be about is how market research really informs your branding, marketing, everything. And how just by doing that and being consistent with it on maybe even a month to month basis, you'll be able to have marketing campaigns that are way better than what you've had previously. So let's get into it for today. Before I get started, I'm going to do a quick plug. I'm doing these videos under SalesStream, my agency where I put sales on autopilot. And what we do is not anything with brand awareness, metrics. We do result-based marketing. And what that means is that we're measuring calls, sales, and leads. And so far, that's led me to have a client and case study with 24 times return on investment. And I'm looking forward to the clients I'm working with now so that we can beat that case study. So let's just get into it. I want us to be honest and really ask ourselves, are we doing market research at all, consistently, and are we asking the right questions? And so first I want you to ask yourself, am I doing any market research? And if you haven't, that's okay, because a lot of people think they come from a place where they think they know their customer, and it's totally okay. I understand it, because you very often think that since you've been in your customer's shoes, you know what they're looking for, what their needs are, all this stuff. But to be quite honest, things change. When I was first getting into Facebook ads, for example, everything was cost per click. That was what everyone wanted. They wanted lowest cost per click. But now with the algorithm change, it's completely changed in only just a month because of this thing that Zuckerberg did. And now everyone's asking, how does this change stuff? And so by not doing research, or I lose that. I miss out on an opportunity to address a different pain point that's more relevant. And so to follow up with that on the same note, are you up to date on your customer research? Are you doing it every month? Are you doing it consistently? And just like in the example I just made, things change. Your customers' needs and wants and desires change based on the circumstances, the environment, all these things. And then before we get into everything, I want to just ask, what assumptions are you making? I stand by the fact that assumptions are the reason that marketing fails for about 90% of companies that just don't know why their marketing is not working. And I want you throughout the rest of this video to think, what assumptions am I making about my market that aren't really fact-based? So now, if you are getting into doing some market research, you might be asking the wrong questions. So I want to first tell you what questions don't matter. And that's demographics, pointed questions, and number questions. So demographics, we all want to know who is more likely to purchase our product. And that's helpful, but a lot of market research surveys use demographics as the meat of the survey. And that means absolutely nothing, because we don't really care about the who until we know the what, the how, what their feelings are. And then maybe demographics can inform, maybe women are thinking this way and men are thinking this way, or age groups change how people think. But if you make demographics the main point of, oh, who's having this problem that I've already decided on, you're not going to get any new information. Next, pointed questions. Pointed questions will completely ruin your survey. I understand that you want to understand why your customer may not care about your product or would want your product. And usually that's why people ask pointed questions about their product. But what you really need to do is almost work around your product and ask questions about the industry. And I'll get into that in a second. And finally, number questions are something that I don't like in surveys because they are almost more specific than pointed questions. It's I'm already assuming that this is a problem for you. Tell me how much of a percentage or how much it is a problem to you, and that doesn't inform. Maybe if you did like a second survey, but I don't think that really is worth it. Um, so now you're probably wondering what questions do matter, and it's two. It's what do they think and how do they feel? And these aren't two questions. They go into almost 10 questions are the ones I usually use in all my surveys. But really, what you want to know is what do they think and how do they feel in terms of your industry, not in terms of your product, though that can be a part of it. You want to know what have they been frustrated with? What are they irritated with? What do they think can work, but they've never tried? What stops them from trying? All these things really shape, how they feel about your industry. And then on the thinking side, if you watch the last video, you'll see that a lot of clients might not be where you're at in terms of understanding what needs to be solved to solve their current problem. And so they might be thinking that something else is the way to solve it. And so by knowing what they think, you're going to be able to frame them from their original stance to the new stance that they need so you can sell your product. Now, I always try to give these videos some context on what they change. And the answer is everything. I usually do a list of things that'll change, but to be quite honest, if you're making a huge marketing system based on faulty knowledge, based on assumptions, you are going to lose. It is just plain as day, because that is your ammunition. That is how you directly call out your clients or prospects and show them that there's a different way, that you also tried this stuff. All these things that really are so important to a successful marketing campaign. Everyone thinks it's Facebook ads, it's all this stuff, but really, when you get down to it, it's knowing your customer. And you may think you know your customer, but you don't. You don't. And if you aren't doing market research consistently and doing it in a way that gives you feedback you wouldn't have gotten if you did pointed questions and all these things, you're not going to really understand your customer. So you're probably asking, how do I even get started? And the answer is, I want you to write down every assumption you haven't backed up with hard evidence. Aim for 5 to 10, so it's not like a huge chore. But I want you to write down the assumptions in your marketing, in your message, in your product even, that you have made without backing it up with hard facts from your customers. And then I want you to send it to me in a message, and I will make you a free survey that you can send out to your past clients, your future clients, your prospects. And I usually charge to do this because it's just so valuable to really understand your clients from the perspective of what they think and how they feel. So that's it for today. And tomorrow I'm going to be doing another video. I still need to figure out the topic. If you have any topics you want to recommend to me, put them in the comments and let me know what you think about this video. All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.